is real right now. That wasn't when we were younger. We didn't have that when we were younger. People weren't as accepting of all the different shapes and sizes. And I'm in my 50s with this whole shoot is about me really loving and accepting that version of myself. And I feel very lucky that I'm living in a time where so many people have paved the way. Wish I could have done that when I was younger. I wish my younger self would have, had the same, felt the same permission to do so.
So what would you recommend younger women to keep in mind about the way they should or shouldn't act or feel or feel about themselves maybe?
I think that, how do I articulate this? One thing that I've learned as older versus younger, I've looked a lot of different ways. There've been a lot of different physical versions of me, but the way people have treated me has not changed. And so I think that the idea of feeling like we have to look a particular way, we have to present a particular image. I think if you're really authentically yourself, then people don't change. I think people change when you adjust who you are to get something from them. But if you maintain your own authenticity, no matter what version, makeup, no makeup, fat, thin, whatevs, you're going to get the same experience with people. So I guess stay true to yourself, embrace your own, authenticity, and let that be the thing that people connect with, because that's the thing that's going to, if they're truly connecting with your authenticity, they'll stay connected to your authenticity. If they're connecting with a version of you that you're presenting in order to get their attention and affection, you change that which you're presenting, then you're compromising that relationship. It's kind of a bait and switch, actually, with people, and they pick up on it.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It makes total sense, and the way you presented it, it's very true.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I think that comes from, I had a conversation over my birthday, and someone's like, I've seen you in like the last 9 years, all this stuff that's happened and all these different versions of, but your core stayed the same. And so the connection has stayed the same. I value that.
Beautifully said.
Thanks.
Now, you are currently single, right?
I am.
Yes, you are successful and you're building a life you've clearly chosen with intention, right?
Yes.
What does love mean to you now? And where does it show up most for you?
What does love mean to me now, and where's it showing up? I feel like you've been on the phone with my therapist lately.
Are they hard?
No, it's just the stuff that we've been talking about, because to your point, like the reinventing, the list is so fresh. I'm so fresh out of this dark night of the soul. So who I am showing up as right now is so fresh from the other side of a dark time. And it's like, for me, what is getting resurrected is caring. And caring is vulnerable. You know what I mean? So what does love look like right now? I think it looks like vulnerability. I think it looks like caring. When you care about something, or you care about someone, and maybe I think you open yourself up to potential hurt, heartache, disappointment. I think that's just the nature of it, right? So I stopped caring about stuff because I just can't handle any of that. So I all got shut down. So now I think loving is about, okay, vulnerability, caring, and transparency is part of that vulnerability, right? Like I mentioned something about, voicing your desires, like really letting people know who you are. And then sometimes that is very telling. in terms of you communicating your desires and your boundaries
Right.
as well. So I think vulnerability is what I think love looks like. It is a willingness to show up with the possibility of getting hurt, but because you value, desire, know that being human is about connecting, and true connection doesn't happen without vulnerability.
Right.
That's what I think love looks like for me right now, is choosing vulnerability.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And we actually went into that in your session as well.
We did.
We went into that state a lot, and it was hard.
It was uncomfortable.
It was hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I love how you connect it with words now and into the potential relationships the same way. But because you've been there already, you felt that you are now ready to actually be vulnerable with yourself and with others as well.
Yeah. Listen, you've been just awesome to work with, because you could pick up on the struggle. I know you did. I did, and we just kept moving through it together. We just kept moving through it together with care. We care about this experience.
And I was ready to stop right there if you weren't ready to go into that, but you were so brave.
I'm like,
we wanted to explore that.
We did.
And we wanted to see how it looks, right? In pictures.
Yep. And whoa, I was so pleased.
So when you say caring, I hope you include yourself
in
that as well.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
That was very resounding.
That is actually quite central.
What do you think you're still becoming?
What do I think I'm still becoming? What do I think I'm still becoming? There's a lot of silence here. Integrated. That's what comes to mind. Integrated. I had a very vibrant younger life. I've had a lot of life experiences where a lot of wisdom has been gained. And then things got a little hard. And so I think that I feel like the person I'm becoming, who I'm becoming, is an integrated person, someone who's able to access that part of me before the pain and integrate it with the part of me that has been through pain and feel just as alive.
So bringing into your current state all parts of the experience that you've been through?
I think that's a really good way to put it. I can tend to be a little bit all or nothing. Like, I'm either the person I was, or I'm the person in the dark night of the soul, or I'm the person who's coming out of, let's say, that dark night. But I think who I want to be is all of those at the same time, integrated.
That's an interesting word to choose for it, but I can absolutely see where it comes from.
They feel very separate, right? These parts of who I've been in certain parts of my life feel very separate, like different lives. I want to become a woman where all of those come together and serve the world in an integrated, informed way. And I think there's some healing there's a healing journey I'm on in order to have that. And I'm definitely on it. And I think I'm doing a pretty good job. So we're on our way.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's where it is. Yeah, I love the way you said it. Now, what came up for you during this session? Like, any nerves, surprises, breakthroughs when we were in the process of photographing you?
What came up in the sessions? It was harder than I was expecting. There was a tug of war on the inside between trying to, I don't know, like manipulate. Like there are times when you're like, you gotta breathe, like manipulate and make sure that the best possible, angle, so that the best possible picture, like a little bit getting, like knowing that, yes, that's what I'm gonna love, that I can be positioned in a particular way and it's gonna look awesome. But also that ability to, or the need to manipulate the position is not what makes me beautiful. The beauty is not contingent on that. So that's one thing that I think there was a little wrestling match going on the inside. Like just be beautiful and just follow direction versus it's only going to be beautiful if this, right. So I think that was coming up. I had a hard, I did not let go until the end. I was so stiff up until the end, I feel like.
You just try to not let go part of the control
yeah.
to have.
Yeah.
And you were holding it, so grasping for it. So yeah, there was some sort of a wrestling match, a little bit.
Tanya, I'm going to tell you something. This is the experience I have when I go dancing. It's the same. It's like I want to be in the dance, and I have not practiced relinquishing the control enough for it to be natural. So that's someone who I want to grow into, being somebody who can flow in no matter what role I'm in. Anyway, yeah, that came up. Yeah, I know, and I know, like when we got to the boudoir part, that I had this corset. I just love it. It's beautiful. And I bought it when I was thin because I felt so sexy. And it sat in my closet, never wore it. Probably had it 7 years, something like that.
It was definitely time to.
Oh, and I wasn't even sure I could wear it. I wasn't even sure there was enough lace in there to fit. So I was so. It was meaningful for me to be able to pull, again, this whole integrated thing, to pull this item that I bought at a time when I felt so sexy and pull it into a moment where I was trying to recapture the feeling of being sexy, reclaim the feeling of being sexy again, and put that corset on. And man, those first few pictures that you took of me in that corset and showed me, I was like, oh my God. Hell yeah. Like, oh, she's got a few more curves, but it was very liberating, like to be able to see myself like that. Like, dang, you are a sexy girl.
You've got that.
I got that shit in there. Yeah. That was meaningful. I never really thought about it that way, but even just as we're having this conversation, like, yeah, that was an integrating moment.
It was like, a little bit symbolic.
Yes.
In some ways.
Yeah. Symbolic. Yeah. So that the people who are watching know about that last picture, that big black and white one of my corset. You can see the glisten. I was just thinking about it in that moment, got kind of emotional. And you captured it.
Yes, you were. And I'm so glad we were able to capture that.
Yeah.
I promise. Very last question. What's something wild, daring, or deeply honest you hope to do in the next 5 years? You probably have big plans.
Say
at least one thing.
Okay, so say that one more time.
Wild, daring, or deeply honest you hope to do in the next 5 years. It can be one thing.
Okay, maybe this sounds cheesy, maybe not, but fall in love. I'm 53. I've never been in a real long-term relationship. It's kind of unusual. It's a very late bloomer when it comes to stuff. The idea of falling in love feels freaking frightening. That to me is very daring, because that is big time letting somebody know me.
and letting go of all the control,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
just, but you mentioned vulnerability, and that is
Yeah.
exactly part of the process.
Yeah. I want to fall in love. And that to me will require some bold moves, some daring moves for me.
But you know what? You are absolutely fully equipped with everything you need
Yeah.
to achieve that.
Thank you. Just like Eno.
And we're gonna follow your journey, okay?
Okay. I like
Promise.
it. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I know the questions were some of them were not easy, right? But
Oh my
I
God.